It's time for another collaborative podcast that no one asked for. From the creators of Cases of Continuity, No New Friends, and Big Beautiful Dis, get ready for Creators United. And now, give it up for your hosts, Ryan, Dane, and Scott.
Welcome to Creators United, the podcast where we feature other creators. It's, mind-blowing, that theme. I'm very excited to be here.
Brain explosion.
Brain explosion. My name is Scott. I'm the host of the No New Friends podcast, and I'll be taking you through this journey through the Avilas today. Okay. With me from the very successful YouTube channel, Big Beautiful Diz, we've got Disney Jesus himself, Dane.
Hello, hello.
Also joining us from the Cases of Continuity. He's balls deep in James Bond right now. We've got Ryan.
Hello there.
And special guest tonight. First, the very beautiful, my co-host from the No New Friends podcast, everybody's favorite food truck critic, Sara. Sara, how are you this evening?
I am fantastic. Actually, I thought you were going to go with Lewis, to be completely honest. You started to say beautiful. Thought you were going to say welcome, Lewis.
Oh, I've got an intro for Lewis. Don't worry.
Ladies
okay.
first. Ladies first. Also joining us from the Nerd Archive podcast, but also the viral TR Factory TV TikTok channel, TikTok page, TikTok profile, whatever. We've got Sarah's beautiful husband, Lewis. Lewis, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for having me today.
Absolutely. So, Lewis, I'm going to get right into you. Okay, I've taken you to dinner,
Calm down,
and we're going to
calm
get right into you first.
Perfect.
So, just like all of us, you're an aspiring content creator, and I know it kind of started for you with Twitch, with gaming, and you've got the Nerd Archive podcast, but you have been relentless. You've had a relentless drive for results on the TikTok, and you're starting to catch fire. I'm so excited for you. One of your newest videos, or reels, stories, one of the new thing, the TikToks, the Tickety Talks video. Yes. As of this morning, 143,000 views. That's amazing. So what's going on over there? What's your secret recipe? Is it just moving the microphone around?
It's funny you mentioned that. One of the things that the bigger creators tell you is that you have to break someone's attention. Like a lot of people on TikTok, they're just scrolling. And if they don't see something in the first couple of seconds, they just keep scrolling. So a lot of big creators are there's this TikToker, he, as soon as his video starts, he lights a match and or a candle or something like that, and it breaks people's attention. So I started that whole moving the microphone. It's so people are like, oh, what the hell is this? Just to get their attention.
Sure.
However, those did good, but the one that you're talking about today, this morning was at 140. As of right now, it's sitting at 210.4 thousand.
Holy crap.
And
that's amazing.
So it is my biggest video right now, and it's very exciting. I hope that this excitement every time I get a video this big, that I'm gonna continue watching climbing, because Sara and I, since it's been happening, and she's done it more than I have in the last 2 days, but every so often, babe, you're at this much now, and it's exciting. It's exciting.
Yeah. Well, and
right
it's better
now,
for her to look at it than you, because once you start looking at it, then TikTok may not push it out as much. But if someone else is looking at it, TikTok's like, this is a great video. We should continue to push it out.
Right. So one thing that it's sitting right now, like I said, 210,000 with 21,000 likes, 4,200 shares. So And I've gotten the magical number in new followers, 69,
Nice.
Hey.
since I posted that video.
Wow.
Here's the fun fact about this. They tell you, the bigger creators, they tell you that you won't see results unless you go viral for one random ass video that you post. You have to be consistent for at least 60 days, posting every day, to see any change. And I've tried to do that, and the first 30 days I'm like doing it, and all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I'm not seeing results. I start posting less and less and less and less. And my biggest issue was that I was putting too much thought into creating these videos, because I wanted high production videos. TikTok is not about that. TikTok, people want to relate to whoever they're watching.
Right.
Yeah, the camera needs to look good, but audio, and here's the thing, also in podcasting, it doesn't, if you're gonna start podcasting, they tell you, okay, well, if you're gonna do a video podcast, make sure that before you get a camera that is like super expensive, you make sure you upgrade your audio, because that is what people like.
Right.
That's, people are listening, and sometimes they put their phone down and they're still listening and they're not even watching you. So I have come up with this idea that I reenact memes. A lot of my videos are reenaction of memes, of jokes.
Right.
And I actually been using Facebook as my source material, because Facebook, even though a lot of people are not using it anymore, they still post memes and funny things. So that's what I've been doing.
Who doesn't use Facebook anymore? Facebook gets used all the time. Besides, say, well, Ryan never had Facebook. People
Okay.
I don't
use
I
Facebook.
don't use Facebook anymore.
So 4 out of the 5 don't use
The other
Facebook
ones are
anymore.
so confusing. I can't figure them out.
Oh, that's the most boomer thing you've ever said.
Yes, it is.
You
Yes,
should have
it
kept
is.
that to yourself.
So, Dane, how much does it piss you off that Lewis just kind of started this and he's blowing up?
A lot.
Dane works months on a video, and
yeah. It's not great feeling.
I
It's not
scroll on
great feeling.
Facebook and see something funny, and I post it, and it takes me like
Right.
less than
Yeah.
than
Yeah,
4 minutes.
I'm actually funny. I get my jokes from my head. He gets them from Facebook. It's just not fair.
Well, and Lewis, that's funny. Dane and I have talked about this before. Like, he works months and months on a video, and now he's hitting great numbers. But before, he may get 100, 200 views on a video that he's worked extremely hard. I post a picture of opening a video of opening a goddamn Diet Coke can, and the thing blows up. I mean, how is that fair that I post just garbage and Dane works for months at a time? And Lewis, I'm not comparing what you're putting out there compared to me opening up a soda can. That's not what I'm saying at all. But it's amazing how this thing works.
You also have to look at YouTube algorithm has changed to be more search engine optimized, which means that they are looking for keywords that you are using and that people are going to search a lot.
I hear what you're saying. I don't think that that's a perfect formula, because I use the word Swifties, indicating Taylor Swift, and those videos didn't do shit. But
because no one cares about Taylor Swift.
I beg to differ. I don't, but I beg to differ.
Our Twitch chat just got 40,000 more people.
Yeah, because we just said Taylor Swift.
Right.
So, okay, moving to Sara. So Lewis is becoming a viral sensation. I know you guys have a very healthy sex life. Are you upping the game a little bit just to make sure
I was
he
just,
stays
I was,
good?
dude, I was just about to ask this, but I didn't want
Absolutely.
to.
Good. I just want to know, like, when I go viral, when the No New Friends podcast goes viral, should I expect to be touched more or any bit? Like, I don't know. How does
It's
this work?
quite
No.
impressive. It really is. Although I always try and one up myself anyways. But beside the point, I think it's awesome. And he's right, actually. I'm constantly looking at it and I'll start to see it climbing and climbing and I'll just text him, hey, this is where you're at. This is where you're at. And I get so excited for him. And I know that that's how he feels, that he doesn't want to look at it all the time. But like, I can't help myself. I'll
That's
sit
so
there
exciting.
and I'll refresh it. And the girls and I will just sit there and watch it just climb and climb. So it's really cool. And I'm proud of him because he spends a lot of time,
Right.
working on it. And like you said, he's been doing this for a very long time. So one of the girls just asked me this morning, actually, she said, can you go back to like his first video? And I scrolled and scrolled and scrolled and it had
Oh, it takes
4
an
likes.
hour. I tried to do that today too. I couldn't.
It takes a while, but he had 4 likes on it. So, to look at just how much and the content change as well that he's had over, finally finding what really draws attention. And I just think it's awesome.
Look at you, wife of the year. My wife
I'm
doesn't
so
even know I
proud of
have a
him.
podcast.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Scott, don't expect that.
Yeah, she's like, oh, are you going to play with your internet friends? She thinks I game. She has no idea I have a podcast.
So Ryan, you have to pretty much what we're saying here is to not get ghosted, you have to hit it big on the internet.
Yeah, you have to get big on the internet.
Exactly.
I mean, Scott's gotten literally
You have to get big on the internet and
No.
well
somewhere
being on the
else.
internet.
So.
No, that brings in all the fake ones. Okay.
Scott
What
cannot
you do
check
is you
any
find
of
yourself
any
a
of
real
this.
person. Let them support you, Ryan.
Exactly.
Thank you,
That's how
Sarah.
it
Exactly. I
goes.
agree.
Man, where was Sarah on that After Dark episode that we had talking about online dating?
She was asleep.
Exam the
Get
next
an
day?
exam. the next day.
No exam.
No, I have a job,
Ryan, do you have a question for us?
What is necessary for a war to be just, Scott?
It just has to be, just be. The war has to be, then it's
Like-
just.
So, like,
The war has to be. It just has to be
Yeah.
war, I guess.
Just has to be, then it's just.
are you familiar with just war theory?
I'm sorry?
Are you familiar with just war theory?
Just war theory. Well,
It's what's necessary
he
for
is
a
not-
war
he
to
is
be
not- he's
considered
not.
it's
worth fighting.
just war theory is a theory just about war. If you wanted to have theories about other things,
some
it would
say
be,
World War II was not just.
it would be war theories and more. But just war, we're just talking about war. So war is just because it is. It just
Okay, we need to hold on. We need to.
You don't need to explain. Wow, Dane, I'm fucking around. In all seriousness, Ryan, I hate war. I don't think it's necessary. I think that if you get people who and they can put ego and money aside, you can have conversations. Now, let's just say hypothetically that there are 5 countries at war, okay? And one of them is the best defensive unit in this war, okay? And they should win this war, okay? But their general goes down with an injury.
Are you talking about FSU?
What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm
are
pretty
we
sure he's talking
about?
about-
I am
All
talking
right,
about
Lewis.
FSU.
Lewis, in your opinion, what is necessary for a war to be just, to be worth fighting? Before we talk about Scott's
So-
not top 4 ranked team.
So when a general goes down, I don't know, man. I have no idea. Can we have this feels like the
Here, I
Another
got
part
it.
of the
Sarah, was
It's a
World War
trap.
II justified?
Not for my people.
Okay.
Nope.
Happy Hanukkah, everybody.
Happy Hanukkah. When does that actually start? Does that start
Friday.
Thursday.
Oh, good question. Oh, thanks, guys.
You're
I
welcome.
didn't
Yeah.
realize how
We've
Thursday
been
was.
talking about
Sarah
it at
didn't
work
know.
all week. We don't have anybody Jewish in my workplace, and so I've been talking about every day to try to make sure that everybody knows that it's coming up. To act as that representation, even though I'm not that representation.
Everybody needs to wear blue and silver, or blue or silver tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Why tomorrow?
I don't have
Because
blue
we're
or
recording
silver.
our Hanukkah special.
Are you going to
See-
be wearing a yarmulke, Scott?
I am. I'm going to be wearing a yarmulke.
He's
and I
wearing it
have a
right now.
Hanukkah
It's
shirt.
blue and yellow.
I'm not wearing the Hanukkah. I'm not wearing anything Hanukkah right now. It's tomorrow.
If you weren't busy tomorrow, I could get something Hanukkah at Disney, but you have oh wait, I should have saved that for tomorrow. I'll bring it up. It's fine.
You've had several times where I'm like, Sarah, do you want this Hanukkah backpack? Do you want
I
this
know.
Hanukkah thing?
I know.
Can we just copy and paste this into a segment for No New Friends?
Yeah, I know. It's
No,
just going to be in our recording.
Dane, what about you? What's necessary for a just war?
Oh, this is a good question. Necessary for a just war. I would say, obviously a just cause. They have to be fighting for the greater good. There has to be a reason for the war. There has to be, let's just look at war in general, right? Let's go a little bit deeper here. What is war? Usually two countries fighting against each other, right?
Not always just countries. The Emu War?
That's true. You need soldiers.
Or emus?
Exactly. You usually need a cause. Or in this case, emus.
Real quick, a war that's about
you
to
need
happen.
Weapons.
A war that's about to happen. So not to go back to this, but obviously there's a lot of controversy in the college football world. Okay. This is really the only important thing going on in my life right now. And
Scott,
I was
did
it's
you
so
not have a
understand it
segment
was
about
bullshit
this
that
planned for
FSU
your
did not
episode
get
tomorrow?
No. I don't think I do. Well, because I had something else happen to me that is going to be a better segment.
See, here's the thing. As much as I don't care for FSU, I tend to agree with you simply because as an OSU fan, I'm in the boat that either a team that's undefeated or a team whose only loss is to the #1 team, either of those teams should be ranked above a team that has a loss to a team that's below #1. Either my team or your team should be in the #4 position. One of our two.
I agree. Not the point of why I'm bringing this up. I will land this plane very quickly. So on Saturday, I was very, very upset. I almost canceled the podcast indefinitely. I didn't want to talk to anybody.
You did cancel after dark, so you're halfway there.
This was as bad as waking up in 2016, realizing that Donald Trump had won the presidency.
I thought you were about to say another year.
It was equivalent to that moment because it was something that you never thought could happen, and it happened. Anyway, so
you definitely land the plane.
I'm loving all the things that I'm seeing on Facebook, all the support that we're getting from, different analysts and different broadcasters, different athletes and all that. Then it all took a downhill turn. We got Ron DeSantis is writing a letter to the college football playoff committee. Rick Scott is filing a lawsuit, or the state of Florida. This is real life. This is what happens down here in the state. The state of Florida is giving Florida State $1 million to file a lawsuit against the college football playoff committee. Like, I'm mad about this. I'm really mad. This is ridiculous. And all we need is let these Republican yo-yos voice their opinions and all the lawsuits and how Disney's corrupt, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, well, I guess they were right. They probably didn't need to put a Florida team in there.
It's kind of like when all of Canada just decided for like a month to just stop being a country and tried to get Taylor Swift to tour in their country. You remember that? No. It was when the Eras Tour was going on. There was no Canadian dates, so there was a huge push by the Canadian government to get Taylor Swift tour dates in Canada. It was insane. They just stopped being a country for like a month.
Gotcha.
And now a word from our friends at Buy Your Star Kitchenware Factory.
All right, sorry. Didn't mean to go on that tangent, but I did. So,
okay.
Dane, you were saying wars with planes and emus and whatnot.
Yeah.
I think we kind of finished our war discussion.
I mean,
Thank God.
I know
that's
you've
yeah,
got a
that's
game
what I've.
prepped, right, Dane?
Oh, we have a game prepped. We have a game prepped, most definitely.
Did we ask Lewis what he thought about war?
We did.
Yes, we did.
And I asked Sarah what she thought about World War II. So
Let me ask you a question,
Everyone's-
Lewis. Are you team Jets or team Sharks?
I don't know.
The West Side
If
Story?
you were to choose one of them.
West Side Story. Are you familiar with West Side Story?
Yes, but I don't know. Jets.
That's
I
a
mean,
try.
Scott, I think it's a little bit offensive of you to bring up West Side Story when the original version didn't have actual Puerto Ricans. They had white actors portraying Puerto Ricans. That might be offensive to Lewis.
I was referring to the 2020 version.
Oh, okay, good.
Which I
Oh,
did
Oh,
not
speaking
see.
of West Side Story, my what used to be my high school is thinking about doing West Side Story for their play musical this year, but they might do it in blackface. And I'm not even kidding. This is an actual legit. I'm not making a joke. Like they're legitimately thinking
I
about.
don't think you can
doing
do
it.
that.
I don't think so either, but it's something that they're thinking about doing. So
Like the Black Lincoln Collective?
But before we get to the game, so we know that Lewis has been doing content creating for quite some time, and I know where his passion lies. But Sarah, you're new to the world of content creating, so to speak. I mean, you've had an Instagram, you've had a TikTok, and all
so
that.
to
but,
speak.
I heard that as well, Dave.
So to speak. Sorry, I did
definitely
not
heard
do my
both.
vocal warm-ups before. The teeth, the lips, the tip of the tongue. Okay, now I'm good.
Ew.
Oh, that's gonna get clipped, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes,
See,
it
you're
is.
in the unfortunate position. I haven't finished my segment for tomorrow yet, so there's
Oh,
still things I can add in.
Fantastic. So, Sarah, you are new to content creating, so to speak. What has that journey been like for you?
Oh, I don't really know. I don't pay much attention to it, if I'm being completely honest. I've steered away from social media quite a bit. It just, you have your moments where you just kind of want to stop scrolling for hours on end. So I kind of started to steer away from it, but I started to post some TikToks, and I enjoy seeing those. And Lewis always gives me tips on how to make it better, and how
I'm
to.
sure he gives you tips.
Yeah. Well, different
One tip in
kinds.
particular.
But I mean, I love being on the podcast. It's hard for me to listen to myself sometimes. I'll tell you, my husband blasts my voice through the entire car. Okay. Commercial doesn't matter. He'll blare it through the whole entire car. But I love it. I really do love being on the podcast. It's fun to just get together with everybody all the time.
Sarah, I know that you used to listen to the podcast before you came on. So I guess you're still listening to it. Lewis makes you listen to it, or have you kind of shied away from it?
To it.
Do you really?
I listen to it. Yeah, absolutely.
You just don't like hearing your voice.
No, it's hard for me to hear my voice sometimes.
Oh, I have the same thing. I can't watch my videos in front of other people. I can watch them, but just not in front of other people.
That's really what it is, because when I hear it, like when I'm listening to it on my headphones, I still laugh I laugh at myself. I laugh at everybody. I think it's funny.
Well, you're funny as hell.
Well, I try, I have my moments. But when we're in the car and like it's blasting and I feel like everybody in the vicinity can hear me also, it's like, oh no, please turn it down. But
That's
I want
funny.
people to listen to it, I like it doesn't make any sense.
It's funny. I'm the opposite. Like when I'm at the gas station, I will pump that volume up. I want to hear my voice. I want people to hear my voice. Now, the only thing is if I am playing a clip from something really funny that happened in an episode and I'm playing it in front of people, that's difficult for me because I have to play the lead in. And sometimes when I get excited about where I know a joke is going to go or where I know what the end result of the story is going to be, I get nervous and tongue tied. Not nervous, but I get excited and tongue tied, and I can't quite spit it out. So like that drives me nuts when I can't do that. And then the joke comes, and I'm like, okay, it was worth it. The payoff was there.
I don't plan
Anyway.
anything. That's how it works, you know?
Well, I know, and you're brilliant. I am not.
Scott, do you climax to the sound of your own voice?
Absolutely. I don't need visuals. I just what I do is I when I'm editing, I have just my track, and I've made that into my own little spank bank highlight reel. And I just play that, and I just listen to myself. And that's what I do. I didn't even have to use any
That's a good idea.
lubricant
I
or
should do
anything.
that.
It's just my voice.
I should do that. It's a really good idea. Hey, Ryan.
Yeah, I look
Pay
like
attention.
a gnome right now.
Pay
but
attention,
what?
buddy. So I received a
Real quick, I feel like you two discuss this kind of stuff in the meetings that I'm not invited to all the time.
Not invited to. Hold on a second, buckaroo.
Like, can we get Scott under control? He's a little bit offensive. It's supposed to be family friendly.
No, not at all. So I got an email on the Creators United email. I didn't even know this was possible because I don't even like.
I didn't even know we had an email.
I don't
This is
even
exciting.
I don't promote it. I got an email. It's
From
very
Remy?
No, it wasn't from Remy, but it was a very, very special person.
Was it Jagazus?
Hello,
my-
Ryan, aka the Sophisticated Gentleman. How you doing? I'm a random man on the internet, and this message comes from me and the boys. Not like the superheroes on TV, but just your friendship group. Now, Ryan, I hear you are a very, very nice man, and you enjoy pina coladas and getting caught in the rain. And you also enjoy making love at midnight. However, Ryan,
Got a good voice.
you're also
Yes.
very lonely, and you just want to become a bit more popular with the ladies. Now, how can you do this, Ryan? There's a couple of ways, and they're all along a line of definitely not legal to, oh yeah, that's just perfectly acceptable. So starting off with the not legal at all, do not do 101, you can spike someone. Now, this is a guaranteed way to get them to come home with you. However, you will be arrested, and rightfully so. So don't do that. Coffee places, cafes, and libraries. It's true. And you see someone you fancy, Ryan.
Sarah, is that true, by the way? Is that how
What?
that you
Which
can go to
part?
you can go to a coffee shop or library and get females?
Well, it's more sophisticated. There you go.
It is. Okay, I'm
It
I'm
is.
just making sure that he's correct. I don't want to be giving
Well, I
Ryan
think
bad information.
hold on. I think in Ryan's, it depends on what you're looking for. I think.
I already have a date scheduled for Friday, y'all.
Oh, that's
so.
exciting.
That's
Not until-
exciting.
not after she listens to this episode.
Yeah.
No, it all depends on what you're looking for. I think Ryan, being the sophisticated gentleman, is looking for a sophisticated lady. Therefore, a coffee shop or a library would be a great place to meet said
Exactly.
mystery woman.
Exactly.
Be the sophisticated gentleman you are. You not waddle. You dance on over, and you say hello. You crack a little joke. You know, that is your window of opportunity. Crack a joke, give her a compliment, and get the job secured. I reckon you can do this, mate, with help from the boys to,
Ryan.
make sure you get a nice girl. So stay safe, watch the roads. Bye.
Thank you.
That is our friend.
John Roberts.
That is our friend John Roberts from.
I love the fact that I am boring enough that only one diss has ever, like a significant diss has been made about me, and it's been blown so out of proportion.
I
at this
know.
Point.
Yes. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, he said with help from the boys, you
Yeah.
may want to find some new boys because you have this guy and then you have Podcast Jesus who lives in his basement
Yeah.
type situation over there.
Lewis
So
is pretty cool. Lewis is
I
cool.
was
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
say,
Lou-
you
no,
have
yes.
Lewis.
Yeah, Lewis.
take advice from Lewis. Yes.
Lewis could get the job done.
How did you two meet?
Good question.
We've never asked that question, or at least I've never asked that question.
No, yeah, I don't think I've ever.
There's a
heard
story
either.
there.
Who- and- You or me?
Go for it.
Well, all right. He was my boss. We
Oh.
yeah, so
Fired.
we worked at a restaurant together. And I was serving, and he was a manager. So we started our relationship there. I mean, it took a minute. Don't get me wrong, of course, but
Well, yeah, he didn't want to get caught. That's terminable.
well, yes, absolutely. So needless to say, we
And
ended
also,
up,
he needed to check your file to make sure you were of age because you look very young.
I was 24 when we met, actually. So, he had 6 years past. We were good. But no, we
You're
worked
too old
together.
for Scots.
I liked it. Oh, I loved him as soon as I saw him. That's no exaggeration.
I did
saw
too.
him and I was like, oof, I know, right? Just look at him.
Yeah.
Come on. I know. Polo shirt and khakis. That was the thing.
Sweatpants.
So you were going after him from day one.
Mentally, yes.
Okay, but you didn't make.
I mean, that's like that's gray area right there. That's rough terrain. Okay, you can't just jump into a situation like that.
Well, anyway, okay. So Lewis, what? So who started working there first? You or her?
He did.
She did.
Yep.
And then you were hired in as a manager.
Correct.
And she did the ooga thing, So tell me
Actually,
about
at his interview, I saw him for his interview.
Mm-hmm.
So he wasn't even hired yet.
It's funny. She was
just
the
hoping.
only one that actually came to the table when I was doing the interview and asked if we wanted a drink.
Smooth.
Would you like something else? Would you like
Of
something to
course she
drink?
did. Of course she
Yeah.
did. You were wearing those gray sweatpants that day. It's cool.
No,
get
he
it.
wasn't, but I was wearing tight dickies and I made sure to walk in front of
Whoa,
him.
what were you wearing?
Dickies pants, the pants brand. All right. But they looked fantastic. Okay. I can say that. And I made sure to walk past him so that he saw it as,
Sarah's
Her
like,
section
I'm
was on the
past him
completely
in my
op-
dickie so that I can get his dickie.
And she did.
All right. So Lewis, you're in your interview. You notice her?
Yes.
Like,
of
did
course.
you remember? Like, was this now mental?
I
note?
remember it. I remember the dickies. That's not a joke.
So was it like mental note? Like, okay, is it worth it to lose my job? And if so, when? Okay, two questions. Is it worth it to lose my job? And when do I go after her?
Well, when I was in the interview, I was so focused on making sure that I left the job that I had that I wanted to focus and get this job. It was months after I started that it's funny because the day before I sent her the first message, she had said, I never call out. And the next day she calls out. And I sent her a playful message. I thought you never called out. And we never stopped talking after that.
Aw, that's cute.
That's the truth. I was like, oh, he found me on Facebook. So
You messaged her on Facebook, you stalker.
He did. And
Hey.
like my phone number was in my file, but he found me on Facebook.
Remember when we used to do that? We just left. Oh, the phone number on. Oh, I get you. I get what you're saying.
not on the profile.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
on
So
the
you
work
Facebook
file.
stalked her before you messaged her.
Yeah, all I did was search her name and send her a message.
Smooth.
All right.
So
And then the rest is kind of history.
it is. Now
So-
we have been married for 2 years.
I love the story. I love the story.
That's a
So how
fantastic
long
story.
did work find out about the two of you, or did you guys kind of
Let's just say that I sent her the first message in August, and then January I didn't have a job.
Oh no.
That's not
But
good.
okay, so here's I'm gonna get a little petty, not with my wife, but there were some people at work that thought that I was giving her
The D.
well, that I was giving
Preferential
her
treatment.
right, correct.
Okay.
And
thing.
Which right. But the funny part is that I was pushing her, no pun intended, I was pushing
You.
her hard to make sure that
And what were you wearing?
well, I
Let
was
the man
pushing her
finish.
harder than anybody else because I wanted her to succeed. It's not that I was playing favorites. I just wanted her to succeed. And I
He
gave
really did always piss me off, honestly.
So when you say you were trying to help her succeed, does that mean you were giving her sex tips at work? Is that what was happening? Like, hey,
I
if you
didn't
do it
need
this way,
those.
no, she did not need those. No, I knew she had more potential than what she was doing, and I wanted her
he
to
just
do.
called you lazy, Sarah. Did you hear that?
He said
She
I
knows
was stuck in a place that didn't appreciate my talent, and he wanted
Correct.
to push me to be in a better spot in the world. I got you, babe. Don't worry.
Thanks.
He's like, you could be stuck in a place that you will be appreciated.
I'll
Anyway,
be stuck in a place. So once people started noticing that, they started stalking me to the point where her car wasn't in the greatest shape and she was doing marketing for us. So I lent her my car to do the marketing. And one day she went to do her marketing, stopped at her house and took a picture. And someone that worked with us took a picture of my car at her house and sent it to our bosses.
bastards.
I'm gonna defend myself really quick because
okay.
this is my pride and joy. Okay, it was not a busted up car. It was a 1993 Fox Body 5.0 Mustang, and it was getting 7 miles to the gallon. And I told them that if they wanted me to do marketing because I was fantastic at it, that I was not going to use my car because they weren't paying me more than $10 an hour. So at 7 miles to the gallon, I wasn't going to do that. I just have to defend my car because I miss that thing so much.
So Lewis, I want to go back to something. You said that you weren't playing favorites. You just wanted to push her to succeed. So what you were saying is you were just giving her all of the opportunities to succeed instead of anybody else.
No one else wanted them.
Oh,
no
okay.
one else was showing.
Gotcha.
When I was
And trust me, everyone wanted you, Lewis. I mean, everyone wanted them, Lewis.
Yeah, which
Listen.
opportunities are we talking about here?
when I was told we need someone for marketing, I didn't just ask Sarah. I asked her first, but I asked other people to see if they wanted to do it. So I make sure of that.
Okay.
I
don't know, Lewis.
First.
It sounds like favoritism to me.
Well, she had. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. When you have a restaurant full of servers, but you have one server that can take care of the whole restaurant and not miss a beat and still talk to the guests how they're supposed to be talked to and not feel rushed because you're overwhelmed, I think that person deserves opportunities.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Now,
Thank you.
Oh, that was sweet. Now, I know we were supposed to be talking about Star Wars or something,
Yeah,
right?
that's okay.
I don't know. So
This was better.
Star Wars.
No, this was way better.
Love it or hate it. Well, I know because you put me in charge. You're welcome.
Should put you in charge more often.
No, I don't want to do it.
Exactly, clown. Every time I ask you to host, you're like, I don't want to host. This
My favorite was the time Scott refused to host, and so I started hosting, and then Scott took over.
Yeah, listen, I have a character flaw. Okay, if someone is doing
it a main
something,
character flaw?
But this would be my main character flaw. Yes, and
No, because your flaw is that you need to be the main character.
I don't need to be the main character. I really don't. I promise you. But the thing is if I hear or see someone doing something that I know I can do better than what they're doing at that particular moment, I tend to take over. It happens at work all the time. I start seating the door as people are coming in because the person at the podium is not doing as good of a job as I would. So I do it. I am not a kitchen manager. I am like a front of house manager, and I'll see the expo person struggling and I will kick them off of expo because I know I can do it better. And it's a character flaw of mine. So in that, you were having a hard time getting words out in that particular night, and you don't typically struggle with it, but I knew that you were having a bad day prior to that. So I said, I'm just going to take over. I don't think that I'm always better. I think
like
in
how
that particular moment,
Scott
in that
is just
particular
being
moment, I was
genuinely a
better.
nice guy, but Brian somehow has to take it in a negative thing.
Well, and I think we all know that I legitimately do not care at all about
I know
that.
And the whole After Dark thing, the numbers were really struggling. And Chris and I have had a lot of conversations about After Dark. What do we do with it? What direction do we want to go? What do we want to do? You know, and when we decided that we were going to go to every other week, I said, what are your thoughts of switching the roles? Because Chris is at his
Switching
best.
positions.
Switching positions, yes. You know, you get tired. Lewis and Sarah know what I'm talking about. I felt like we didn't have aces in their places. Chris is at his best when he doesn't have to run the pace of the show and make sure it keeps moving, and he can just be himself and interject and come up with the jokes. Whereas I'm at my best when I'm maintaining the flow and maintaining the continuity, if you will. Cases of Continuity comes out every Wednesday. And we said, you know what, let's give it a try, see what we think of how the episodes were. And we realized after 2 episodes of doing it that After Dark is dead. And so now it's gone.
Well,
now.
in case you guys didn't know, Chris did tear his Achilles tendon. So it's kind of hard to like carry the entire show on your back when you have such a massive injury.
Nick
like
from
that.
Sandpiper was on there as well.
Oh, that's true. Well, but hosting duties, you have to carry the show a little bit more.
That's fair.
Sarah, by the way, I'm praying for you. I hope you recover very soon.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't on the show, because I was so terribly injured.
I know
that I couldn't.
You were
even
in the
fathom
hospital
it.
every single episode, so you couldn't be on.
Weeks on end.
Yeah, it was such a gruesome injury that the doctors just looked at it and was like, we can't do anything about this. So it was just months and months of horrible surgery.
We're shocked it's still there.
Ryan just said, so my character flaws, I'm just an asshole. I mean, I guess so. I never looked at it like that.
So I have a list in front of me. 5 things on this list. Top 5 highest grossing media franchises of all time, 2022 update. So some real quick rules about this game. So it says media franchises, but we take a thing called Disney, and you can't say like Disney is not on this list. It's a specific character that is on this list. And like for Star Wars and Marvel, those are separate entities. So the name Disney is not on this list, but I will give you a hint. Something Disney is on this list.
Oh, Alabama Crimson Tide and the SEC Network.
That is number 6. We are only doing top 5.
That's real conspiracies that are actually real, Scott.
Okay, so I'll open it up right now. Guess what number? If you think you have a franchise, guess what number the franchise is at. And if you can guess around the billions of dollars that this has generated over the years, go right ahead, because that would be very interesting.
I think we should start with our guests.
Any guesses? Yeah, any guesses?
I'm very confused, so I'm going to get the ball rolling because you said character. Spider-Man.
Spider-Man is not in the top 5. Believe it or not.
Did you get this list from Remy's Roundtable? Just asking.
I did not.
Okay. I believe Dane's looking for individual series that might be on this list.
There are, real quick, there are 3 characters on this list, and then 2 of them are series.
Okay.
One of them could be considered a series, but it's a character.
Since we're going to let the guest go second, since I went first, I always go first.
Yes, you do.
I'm gonna give Sarah a little bit of a hint. Okay, you may have purchased.
Well, what if Sarah knows it? What if Sarah doesn't need the hint?
Sarah doesn't know it. Sarah,
I
do you
want
know
the
it?
hint.
Oh, I
You want
feel
the
like
hint?
Scott probably knows this.
Sarah, you may have merchandise from this character that you may have paid about $50 for. You probably negotiated it down to $49.95. But if you do it in a certain motion, you can make things happen.
Harry Potter?
Is Harry Potter one of them, Dane?
Harry Potter is not one of them.
What?
Believe it
You
or not.
definitely got this
Isn't
list
Harry
Believe it or
wrong.
Potter's
not.
top 10,
Believe it or not.
but
It's
it's
top
not
5.
top 5.
Yeah, it's probably mostly. Yeah, I think Spider-Man and Harry Potter are. Yes, it is at number 9. Harry Potter's at number 9. Does not.
See, I'm surprised that was
Wow.
what you went for, Scott, and not the other big franchise that Sarah enjoys.
Star Wars.
Star Wars is on the list. What number do you think Star Wars is at?
3.
Close. It's number 5.
Oh, wow.
I
I like the
gonna go
guess
right
though. It's
down
in the middle. Can you
Yep.
guess how much money Star Wars has brought in?
Hold on. She says 3. Dane says close. It was 5. If she says 3, it's close to any answer. In fact, 5 and 1 were the furthest possible answers away from her.
You weren't
guess.
supposed to say that, Scott. You weren't supposed to say that.
My bad.
Can you guess how much money Star Wars has brought in?
Is this all time?
I think just I have no clue. Yeah,
It should
sure.
be all time, but as I recall, not adjusted for inflation.
Yes. Yeah.
50 billion. That's a weak answer.
66
good-
billion.
That was a really
That's
good
a
guess.
very
Sarah. I thought it
really
was a
good
really
guess.
good.
Really?
Really good
What
guess.
was it?
66 billion.
Leave it to our
Oh,
Jew
okay.
to get the money question correct.
While what's his name? Lewis is over there Googling the answers. I see your
I'm
eyes looking
itching my
down.
tattoo.
Oh, that's a
okay.
cool tattoo.
That is a cool tattoo. You got a guess?
I want to say, so Marvel.
Marvel is the shocking one that does not crack the top 5. It is in the top 10, but it does not crack the top 5. Believe
So
it or not.
are there not even characters from Marvel in the top 5?
No,
Wow.
no. Two of them are Disney characters.
All right.
That are just so massively popular.
Well, then I'll go Frozen.
What was that? Sorry, I adjusted my headphones.
Frozen?
No, not Frozen.
Oh, well, then it's just, is it generic Mickey Mouse? Is that what you're?
Yes, yep. Mickey Mouse is on the list. Just
Okay,
generic Mickey Mouse.
Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh is also on the list.
All
Where
right,
is
now
Winnie the
now
where
we know
is
where we're
Winnie-
going here.
Where is Winnie the Pooh and Mickey Mouse on the list?
Mickey Mouse is going to be number 2. Winnie the Pooh is number 4.
Mickey Mouse is number 4 and Winnie the Pooh is number 3.
Oh, because A.A. Milne wrote the
Wow.
Winnie the Pooh books in the early 1900s. Winnie the Pooh wasn't around until Mickey Mouse wasn't around until 1928.
So how much money do you think that these guys have brought in?
Well, it's more than 66 billion.
It is. It's a little bit of a hint.
I mean, I would say, and Mickey Mouse is 4.
Yes. It's close. 70 billion for Mickey
Oh,
Mouse.
real close. And Winnie the Pooh's number 3,
Yeah.
77 billion.
75 billion for Winnie
Damn
the
it.
Pooh. You're close. You were close again. So we have number 5 is Star Wars. Number 4 is Mickey Mouse. Number 3 is Winnie the Pooh. And then we only have 1 and 2 left.
The Bible.
Jesus Christ. Sarah, Jesus Christ is someone that
Looks like Dane.
No, it is not Jesus Christ, unfortunately.
Was Jesus modeled after you, Dane? Was he modeled after your look?
He was.
this is a tough one.
It is.
I mean, I don't think
I don't
James
think
Bond
you're
is there,
gonna
but
get-
I also feel
number
like
2,
I have to guess James
let-
Bond in case it's on there.
It's not
Oh.
James Bond.
Okay, good. I was gonna get arrested if it was on
honestly,
there and I didn't guess.
Number 2, you probably will not get, but number one, I could see you getting.
So one character, one franchise.
yes, 1 character, 1 franchise.
Luce and Sarah, what are you guys thinking?
Godzilla.
No, not Godzilla.
Oh
Good
man.
guess.
I just can't think of anything bigger than Star Wars, Mickey Mouse.
Do you
Sherlock
want a hint?
Holmes?
Do you want a
Winnie the
hint?
Pooh.
No,
Sherlock
not Sherlock
Holmes.
Holmes.
Dang.
No, he's thinking. Bro is thinking about every every franchise
Batman.
that came out before 1970. It is not
Superman.
It is not Batman.
Wait,
No,
Superman,
not
yeah.
Superman.
What?
You want to? I'll give you a hint real quick.
can we get like years that things released?
Yes. So this number 1 came out in 1996, and number 2 came out in
Schindler's List?
1974.
No, Schindler's List was 93.
96 and
96.
74.
I will give you a hint.
Titanic.
One of these things you can physically get on paper.
Okay, well, 74, I'm going to say Jaws.
No, not Jaws. That's a good guess though, but it's not Jaws.
One of these things you can physically get on paper. Pokemon.
It is Pokemon.
Thank you, Chris Yob.
Is
Chris,
Pokemon
what the
on
fuck?
one? Is Pokemon 1 or 2?
Got to be 2.
It is.
I'm going to
number
say
one.
1.
It is number
Yeah.
1.
What?
With the 100 billion.
Wow.
Very 105 billion.
Wow.
So just number 2. I will give you. This one's really hard. So I will give you 3 guesses,
It's a
and then I will
character, right?
reveal the answer. It is a character.
So it's a character for was Pokemon the 74 or the 96?
96.
96.
So you got one more from
The
1970.
Pikachu.
1974.
Oh,
What was
74.
happening in 1974? Godfather Part 2 won Best Picture.
Jaws came out, or Jaws came out in 1974.
Nixon was president at the time, as I recall.
Only you would know that.
Well,
So
hey,
a
maybe
real quick,
Nixon's
a
your
real quick
character. I
hint,
don't know.
a real quick hint. This character was popular in the 90s, but technically came out in 1974. Most popular in the 90s.
Most popular in the 90s, and it's not Marvel or
Michael Jackson.
And it's not Michael Jackson. That's one guess. Would you like another hint? I can give you another hint if you want.
Came
It'll
out
be
in
the last-
1974.
It'll be the
Oh, wow,
last hint.
Chris, I didn't even see your guess of Michael Jackson. I did see Pokemon, but I didn't see Michael
Popular
Jackson.
in the 90s.
Okay, I hate dead air, so go ahead and give us another hint.
Sarah might have bought merchandise for this character when she was a little girl.
Oh,
Hello Kitty.
Barbie.
Hello Kitty.
Hello Kitty.
Really?
Yeah.
Hello Kitty is number
Man.
2. How much money do you think Hello Kitty brought in?
98 billion.
No, 80 billion.
85 billion.
80
80
billion.
Wow, so there's a huge drop off between number 1 and 2.
There is
Because
massive drop.
5 through 2, we're all within what, 15 billion of each other?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
That was
Wow.
that was really interesting. I wasn't sure what to expect from the game when you originally described it to me, Dane, but that was a
Yeah.
really, really interesting thing.
It was interesting, and
Yeah, there's actually 30 on this list. So
Remy's
Spider-Man,
Roundtable
Spider-Man
for,
was right under MCU with $27 billion. MCU as of 2022 has brought in 29 billion.
wow.
And it makes sense. I mean, because MCU has been massively popular since 2008. So compared to like something like Star Wars, it's not gonna
Right.
crack the top 5.
All right.
Did Remy's Roundtable actually do this list? I
No.
did
No.
not. Okay, I was gonna say
No.
I did not steal this list.
No. I'm just saying you got
No,
your
but he will.
information from Remy.
Oh yeah.
Dane, Ryan, do you have any other questions, games?
I don't have any games. I
I just
Okay.
want to wish all of our listeners a happy Hanukkah.
Happy
Very good.
Hanukkah.
Very
Yes.
good.
Happy Hanukkah name for everybody.
Luis, Luis, what is coming up on Nerd Archive podcast? And please make sure you drop those socials,
Yes.
especially the TikTok.
Everything will be linked in the description.
all of our listeners that listen to all of our podcasts already can continue to follow you.
Yeah, right. So on the Nerd Archive, we are going to be recording tonight, and we're going to talk about the GTA 6 trailer and what to expect from the game coming out.
Nice.
So it's funny. A lot of the people that are buying GTA 6, when they bought GTA 5, they probably needed a parental figure or someone over 18 to buy it. And now they can actually buy it. That's how long it's been.
Interesting point. Interesting
Yeah.
point.
What was
That's-
it? 2013?
It's just like
How long?
when
Something
they
like that.
announced that Magic Kingdom was going to put the Tron ride in, the people that were alive on opening day can now ride it with the height restrictions.
Crisco
Sarah,
can't.
and then Lewis, where can everybody find you? What's your TikTok?
So my TikTok channel is TR Factory TV, and you can find me on all podcasting platforms with the same name, and then you can find the Nerd Archive podcast on all podcasting platforms.
Awesome. Sarah,
what's coming up on the No New Friends
what's
podcast?
coming up on the New Friends podcast?
Oh, it's our Hanukkah episode. There's some exciting new stuff happening, more adulting. Scott has stories to tell. He somehow injured himself. Who knows?
I did.
And I know we didn't get a ton of time to talk about your thrifting account. Can you tell us a little bit about where we can find you with that?
So I am on Instagram at Old Soul Thrift. And you can find me on all other shopping platforms as well. Poshmark, Depop, Mercari. So go buy stuff because I need to make space.
Scott, what's coming up on the No New Friends podcast?
She just told you. We've got our Hanukkah episode. I don't think we're going to have an interview tomorrow night, but really, we didn't think that we were going to have an interview tomorrow night. I'm still holding
Let me
out
ask
hope.
you this, Scott. What's coming up on NNF Reacts?
You know what? I'm not sure what we're doing next. We've got kind of a whole list to choose from. I'm sure we'll try to do some Hanukkah stuff maybe tomorrow night. I know that we have, different Christmas fails, birthday fails, drunken fails. We're really having fun with these fail videos right now. So I think we're going to kind of stick to that. But please send us your videos. We love these little rapid fire. We have a lot of fun at the end of it.
I keep sending you Diz
Not to
Journey
me.
compilation.
Not
It
to
just
me.
won't be
No, I'm not doing Diz Journey compilations. Dane, what's coming up on Big Beautiful Diz?
Well, Ryan joined me for a very special video all about Saludos Amigos. We're doing monthly series all about the Disney package films.
I thought it was
So-
about James Bond.
Oh, no. Surprisingly, it wasn't. Surprisingly. Yeah, but it's a very, very fun series so far. The thumbnail is one of the greatest images probably ever made. So go check out that video.
Sorry, we're doing news anchor fails next.
Oh, okay. Music.
I think you were about to comment on the hilarious thumbnail, which made me laugh every time I thought about it, including during a meeting at work, and I had to step out for a moment because I was thinking too much about the thumbnail.
That's so great.
All right. Well, I think that's going to just about do it for us this evening.
Hey, Ryan, what's coming up on the James
crap.
Bond of continuity?
Thank you, Dane. How nice. Yeah, I'm gonna need to do another slander ad for Scott. If anyone wants to be a part of that, reach out to me at caseofcontinuity@gmail.com.
I thought you already went. This is what I tell my wife not every single night, but anyway. Sorry.
So I am, believe it or not, almost done with season 1 on James Bond. When this episode releases, I will be about to release my episode on Skyfall from 2012 with a fantastic song from Adele. Super fun movie. And then after that, only 2 more episodes for James Bond before finishing out season 1, heading to season 2 in 2024.
Nice. So check out that. Have you announced to the public what you're doing next in season 2?
Do it right now.
You're the only one I've
Right now.
announced
Do
to,
it right
Scott, and I
now.
don't think you remember. So I don't think anyone
remember.
knows.
Let's
don't
do it
remember.
right now. Announce it. Come on now.
No, yeah, you need the suspense of the trailer.
Oh.
I'll say one thing and one thing only. This character is perhaps the most iconic character ever created.
Got it. I remember now.
Pikachu, Pokemon.
You'll see.
Yeah,
You'll have to wait.
clearly Pokemon. All right. This was a lot of fun. Thank you to our special guest, Lewis and Sarah. I always thought it was Avila, but I guess it's Avila. Avila.
I thought it was
Avila.
a villa.
Avila. I felt like it was a medical procedure when I heard it, but so thank you guys so much for staying off of each other for a couple minutes so that we could do this. Appreciate it. On behalf of Dane, Ryan, Dane from Big Beautiful Diz, Ryan from Cases of Continuity, I'm Scott. Thank you so much for listening, and peace out.
And
Okay,
Scott,
bye.
And
we love
Scott,
you.
we love you.
Love you guys.
Fuck you, Scott.